like to give.
I guess I'll do it.
You want to do it? You do it. Godspeed.
All right. So the last session, did that end before we went into the tomb, right? Or no, Desho had just tripped the trap. That's how it ended, right?
Yep.
Okay. Desho was in a tomb. Despite being an archaeologist, he did not check for traps. So
I
he
was a
triggered
cloud
one.
at the time. In my defense, I was a cloud.
Still have eyes, don't you?
Let's not get into fucking judging how the man played. Get the recap.
Anyway, he almost blew himself up. He was fine. Awoke the dead, who fortunately for Desho couldn't smell him because he was a cloud. A number of us ran to his aid, discovered that there was also a lizard folk, prized lizard folk in the tomb. Said lizard folk almost died as his first act in the campaign.
Sick.
I apologize. Actually, that was 2 sessions ago.
Wait,
Last
what?
session started with John going into the tomb.
Yes, with the, saving you-know-who.
Last session.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Last session, we started out with John over campsite chat making a certain deal with the new lizard folk. Save his friend, get infinite booze. And thus, as that is not something John can pass down, did a lucky dimension door that was guesstimated into the depths of the tomb. Having to then sneak around past through the den of a giant spider, waking it up at the last second, but still managing to teleport out. Conveniently, it was also name?
Huh?
The Dragonborn.
Dinar.
Dinar.
It was actually Dinar. It wasn't some already shriveled corpse. Luckily.
It was a coin flip.
Kind of. After that, Paul went into the other life source, pulling out another Dragonborn, this one of a different party who is already in the depths of the dungeon. We then proceeded to frisk the man without wanting to admit that we were frisking the man. Eventually giving him back his stuff, purchasing a few. We fucking frisked the man hard.
It was somewhat consensual.
No, absolutely not. We used magic and everything. We frisked that man. We fucking making a couple purchases from him even, and showing him a way back in that didn't involve going past a bunch of tomb whites, or whatever those were called exactly.
Tomb whites.
Okay. The party then waited around for the friendly neighborhood dragon to fly back, arriving and seeing new comers and giving out a resounding the party loaded up and started heading off back into the forest, eventually being able to use the cart to get back into the town, which Harrow, that's what it is. Collecting the reward for for finding the one guy's brother. Picking up the sorceress on the way out of town, the party headed back to Tanada. On the way, some various chats, some singing, some arguing, some various near threats, falling off of the carriage, teleporting back onto the carriage. I don't know how much detail I can go into the cart ride. just because it was a lot of bantering and singing and getting to know each other.
Great.
Bit of arguing at the end there, and a bit of name pointing, some showing of faith, and some showing of cards. We then arrived back at the Hillidan estate, talked a little bit more, had dinner, talking politics and such, having some fancy mixed drinks, pina coladas, and the like, before now reconvening, most of us, in the lounge, while Ada bakes cookies. This is where we left off.
Indeed.
I already have inspiration, so who wants it? I don't wait. Actually, I had to use mine.
You
no wait,
have MVP inspiration.
I was
though.
MVP. Yep. That's what it was.
I would like inspiration.
Have it.
Yay.
One important thing from the cart ride, Renea gave Vaz and the NPCs the basic rundown of there were rotting crops. We stopped the person rotting the crops. They were working for a changeling named Whisper. We stopped her because she was trying to kidnap kids. And then we went to Valindran's Hold, which was demon possessed. Fixed that. And now there's the dragon that caused that, and a sorceress up north doing more demon possessions.
So yeah, so Sage, when are we gonna get on the Avatar: The Last Airbender style theater episode where we get to see our adventures, right?
You are nowhere
Before our
near
eyes.
close enough to the final season.
Well,
Oh no.
I'm just wondering. Oh, and one final thing: the evening before all of this, some patron dreams were shared and had. Let's not forget that. Okay. No, now that's about everything.
All right, very good, very good. You have received your necessary inspiration that you can provide to your companions. For JC's question in Dice Chat, you're asking about silver arrows?
Yeah, Floof needs some silver arrows, and we
Just
don't.
need some silver arrows. All right.
Just duct tape a silver coin to the arrow.
Duh.
That's not how it works.
That's a really
Sharpened.
expensive arrow.
That's
The-
a
the-
And if you
price
decide,
Is
that's a silver-plated coin. It's not even that much silver.
how much
1.5
silver do you
gold.
need?
So it would be
Or
cheaper
20.
to do the silver ones.
It
So
would
it
be,
would
okay,
be
you know what? It
It's
would be
1.5 gold for 20.
What if you just put a bunch of
Hmm.
like silver coins in a sock and you hit him with it?
Shit, that could work.
Say,
Sage is like probably he's got his
Sage, can I
he's
lore
face
check
mounted.
if
He's face
you would
I
have
just
prison
cracked this
mace
thing
with
wide
silver
open.
coins?
I don't know what you just said because there was too much laughter and chuckling in the background.
we are all dumb.
I was asking if I could make a lore check to see if doing a prison mace but with silver coins would work.
Oh my god.
I mean, have you been to prison?
Prison mace in
John?
the sense of putting hard objects in a sock.
Yeah, I know. But
John?
has your character been to prison?
Sean's done good enough not to get caught, so don't ask.
Not in the past 100 years or so.
I mean, as a fighter, it would make sense that if you put enough heavy objects into a sock or something like that, it could be used as a weapon.
All right, great.
Now then,
We will
though,
never use.
you guys are in the city of Sonata for how long? How long you staying?
That really depends on how the next conversation goes.
Then we shall do the next conversation. You wish to go into apples with your companion? With your
We
John
are-
and Paul?
We are doing this open. Par for
doing
the
it
two
open.
NPCs. They are being
Alright, I'll
Kick
shut them
'em out.
outside. They've been
Of-
Kick
shunted
'em out.
outside.
and assumedly we're using the war room.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, John doesn't know about the war
Turned
room.
interior to this building.
That is for
unless he
Paul
uses a
and
roof.
Ada to state us having.
There-
They did state it
Yeah.
inside.
There isn't a official interior, but if you guys want, I can pour a mansion in. Because I have a couple
I
That's
think
fine.
Royal Theater with a mind for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't needed this
Brain
map
dead.
yet because you guys haven't triggered anything that would trigger combat inside.
That's also a very
Not for that one
small
time.
manor if it's to scale. That's like the size of my house
This
in
map
real
isn't
life.
fully to scale. As you can tell, that's more just like a depiction of
What
the
do you
city,
mean
less
this is the
of.
size of your house?
Improv.
Yeah.
This is gigantic.
Yeah. Also,
It's
to be
what,
fair,
like,
every square is 5 feet. So if you're looking at your token size, you need to like reduce that by a fifth. That is the actual size of a character token, because they normally take up about a 1 foot diameter space.
110 feet
So
By
by
by about
55.
55, and the tower is a 60-foot
Like, this is-
So the first
It's a big
floor
house.
is
Yeah.
floor is 6,000 square feet. 6,050 square feet.
Ooh.
This place is fucking big.
It's big. But the
It's a
map
mansion.
is more of a representation of what the city looks
Mhm.
like and less of an accurate depiction. As this
So
is
in
one of
total,
the older
probably
ones I
about
made.
yeah. So in total, just based on the map, probably about 15,000 square feet, something like that.
Something like that.
Good lord.
That's pretty big.
Well,
all right.
Yes, indeed.
Is everyone fine with the zone of truth?
Sure.
Sure.
I'll live with
what else,
it.
man?
Right, Renea will cast Zone of Truth. You can either choose to fail the save or give me a Charisma save every 6 seconds.
I'll
I'll
choose to
choose to
fail.
fail.
I will fail.
Choose to fail.
Does anyone not choose to fail? I will take that as everyone fails.
Yes.
All right, go
All
ahead.
right.
Sage, for the
first-
purposes of this conversation, how does Zone of Truth work here? Is it the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Or is it anything that is not a lie?
You can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. That's all.
Yeah,
it
so I'm
says.
asking Sage how he interprets that, because some people say different things.
So anything that is a falsehood, if it is incorrect, this does not include omissions of truth, but it does include deceptive words.
A good example of this is when Renea subjected a previous character of mine to a zone of truth, where I was pretending to be someone else. I forget what the character's name was, but I was pretending to be a Dragonborn, and I said, "Oh, I'm a Dragonborn. I'm from this place." And then once they put me under a zone of truth, I said, "I told you I'm a Dragonborn. I'm from this place."
Yeah.
Which is technically a true statement because I did tell them that.
Oh.
Right, okay, I
That's
understand.
clever.
So, yeah.
There are loopholes.
Never mind that I rolled insight high enough through deception, and you maintained the deception after we knocked you out, and the illusion wore
Hey,
off.
come on. All right.
That is for your
good
benefit,
times.
and you may begin.
To start, Vaz, I'm pretty sure no one here is actually going to try and stab you in the back. I'm definitely not. So
Good. Good.
So what's this all about?
all right. I have a question for you, John.
Oh, you can do it yourself. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You said your patron wanted you to go to Morganon. What do they want from Morganon?
I want a heart.
A heart?
A heart.
Do you know anything about this heart?
It's a heart. Understand, man. It's the Tinkerer. The name is kind of self-explanatory. It's a heart that's made of clock, like clockwork. It
Is
doesn't really
this-
have to be asked now. I mean, you'd learn this when we got there, because I'd be saying I need that. I guess it's good to say early.
Do you have any idea about what this heart does?
It's a clockwork heart. I have no idea. I don't need to know. What I need to do is do my job for him.
All right. Follow-up question. If there was someone who was threatening Willow and Miles, what would you do?
If someone were to be threatening Willow and Miles, I would most likely shoot them, possibly brand them, and let them live out their days with that mark.
What if the someone was your patron?
If the someone was my patron, that is an interesting question. I am bound by my contract with him to do as he says. So, I would do as he says. Now, ma'am, what about your patron? If your patron said to burn me, brand me, string me up from my internal organs, would you do it?
If I had to kill one, I wouldn't kill someone. I wouldn't be that violent. And 2, I'd find out why they want that done first, and then decide for myself if it was something that needed to be done or not.
Knowing full well that if you disobey the one who gifted you some of your power, that they can take it right back, you're telling me you would go against their wishes.
If it was the right thing to do, yes, absolutely.
Fair enough.
Last question, John.
Hmm?
What do you know about Vestral?
You
What?
are not from this country. You are good to roll me a history or lore wouldn't work, so just history. Actually, you have done adventuring here, so you could also roll lore.
Which is also history, basically.
I mean, it's intelligence, but you have proficiency in it. When I say lore, it means you can roll with
Okay.
proficiency. Because
Okay,
it's saying that
cool.
you have the proficiency of the lore. I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay, so I can roll with proficiency. Good, because again, my intelligence is bad. 8, I'm assuming.
You rolled that in downtime.
I did roll that. Oh, apologies. God damn
It
it.
should be 9. Your proficiency bonus is +4, and I believe your int is neutral.
Okay, fine. A 9. Yes, it is.
9 is still not enough.
No, okay. Well,
DC was 10.
Ooh.
what?
Is that something the rest of us know, though? Just making sure.
I mean, anyone who's native of Calabash, yeah, 100%.
I think I'm a special case. I don't think I would know.
You
So-
might have heard of something. You probably didn't call it Vestral, just because your tribe would have had different words for different events that happened. For those who are native to Calabash, Vestral by itself doesn't mean much. What does matter, though, for those who are here, the reason why some of the plains, some of the forests and all that have decayed and turned into swamplands filled with death and other nasty stuff is because of a curse laid at the end of the war with the elves before the current time period within the campaign where peace is had between the two, although it is an uneasy peace. This curse was known as the Curse of Vestral.
Yeah,
So,
so John's response that would be, huh?
So you don't know anything?
I barely know what the hell you just said.
Okay. I can trust you then.
What
Completely.
is it?
Sage, which one is playing the music track, and can I hijack it?
That would be Dayman, which is the dash track, not the exclamation track.
And can I hijack it?
Sure. We got the clear it first, and then you can
Ah.
hijack. Yeah. I mean, you also just click next, but I cleared it already, so.
I am not a whiz at technology.
It's all good.
No, you're a cleric at it.
Got him.
Sick.
God damn it.
I
All
laughed.
right.
Huh.
I'll keep the zone of truth up so you know that I'm telling the truth.
I would hope.
Last night, my patron contacted me in a dream. Told me some things. Firstly, that my brother was alright, which is great, but he had stopped an assassination attempt against the royal family. Within, the last 3 days was the last time I spoke to him. Because of that, I think it might be a good idea to go and get the supposed crown that would let whoever has it become king. But that wasn't the main secret he told me. He told me of the nature of our enemy. The three sisters. And their master. The three sisters, one of them is Whisper, who's dead. One of them is Saraye. And the last is Syl, presumably. You said Dark Lady or something like that? Lady of Shadow?
The Lady
Up
of
by
Shade.
Kraken's Hollow. Lady of Shade. When I first contacted my patron, I had a vision of someone who had matched Saraye's description, Whisper, a woman who matched the image of Syl you showed me, and a fourth person, a man with a symbol of a burning eye, who I'm guessing she'll pull out the map, the super important map, and spread it on the table, is MS, since they're the only name on this map that doesn't have anything more than initials. Captain Alden was a bandit chief. He is also dead now. Not sure who this last name is. I think it's Alden on the map.
Let me plop the map down on stream purposes so they can see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, who's MS one more time?
The master of the three sisters. That's what Renea thinks. Since they're the one name on the map that doesn't, have a name. And is just initials.
All right.
Here we go.
Feel free
Here we
to point some stuff out. Soraya, you know about Syl up here, up north in Kraken's Hollow. You've killed Whisper. You've dealt with Captain Renault.
So Alinor and Uldric, do we know either of those? We don't, right?
You do not, no. Also, Syl is mentioned down here as well. But you know from I believe Paul and Ada were the ones up north in Kraken's Hollow, and were transferred from this shadow sorceress to the Abyss. So you would know that she was up there.
Yes.
Other than that, the only other thing listed on here would be MS Sends Best. It's over to the west.
And since that's the only one that isn't an actual name, that's why Renea thinks it's the said master. As for what they're planning, it seems to be nothing less than the destruction of the entirety of Kalbesh. Here, on Morganon, as she points to the island, is their goal, their true master. Imprisoned on Morganon is a being known as Vestral, like Vestral's curse, Vestral. My patron said if Vestral gets free, they can't tell if the corruption will merely consume all of Kalbesh or spread further beyond to the rest of the continent. He said that we have a year and 2 months to prevent this from happening. And if we're ready for the final fight, then we should go to Morganon. And then I had time to ask him one question. Remember that 1 head, 2 head, 3 head, 4? 5th head lost forevermore?
You said it a couple times.
That was on the piece of paper that Whisper had hijacked, and my patron then hijacked again to contact me. And you said it was written in blood on some of the houses up in Kraken's Hollow?
That is correct.
Well, I asked him what that was about, and he told me. I am the 5th head. There's a seal that binds Vestral in place, and the blood of my patron specifically can undo that. And there happens to be 2 mortals with blood strong enough to qualify. Me and my brother. They're trying to find a way around the barrier without our blood, which I presume is the 1 year and 2 months time limit, which he said we could push back. We slay more of the sisters. But if they were to capture me or my brother, or even better for them, corrupt us, they could open it immediately.
Now, you're not gonna like my next question here, man.
Okay.
Sorry, hold up.
Quick thing before you do that. There is one addition to that. The enemy does have a way to speed things along beyond just Renea or Daniel. That's the only addition, though.
Okay.
It's you know, if other things fail and the like, then that will trigger. But yeah.
Yeah. He did say that they might be able to speed up the process if their plans go to fruition. Killing them might slow it down. So.
Yep. Other than that, carry on.
Now, wouldn't that mean that you're a bit too... I don't want to say important here, but I want to say words are not my strong suit. Pardon, but I'll just
A bit
speak
too
bluntly.
close to this and should go nowhere near Morganon.
Or too valuable to be left alive. If they need your blood, if you're dead and buried, they can't get it. To
I
speak
feel like they'd be able to
bluntly
dig
here.
up a corpse.
Well,
I
but
make
a
a war
corpse
graph
wouldn't
database.
have no...
If
A
it's fresh
corpse
enough, it would.
dried up enough. Well, that's why I'm kind of speaking in a certain kind of awkwardness here. I know there's decomposition spells and such, which could then remove your blood even further.
Assuming it's literally my blood they need and not just a part of me.
Even then, there are spells to rejuvenate one's body after death.
Body's got a lot of blood, man. There are ways that we could do this and you wouldn't have to be in any harm's way, and we wouldn't be in any danger of them unleashing whatever the hell it is they're trying to unleash. But that would take the death of you and your brother. Because if they can't get blood, then there's no alternative for them to use.
Believe it or not, I've considered that as a last resort.
I'm impressed. But this isn't something you can do as a last resort. As stated, it takes time for one to decompose and to lose the blood left in their system.
not wanting to die for no apparent reason notwithstanding, isn't it entirely possible that the seal requires a mean to... I'm no expert in magic like this, but all the stories, there's always some way to undo the curse or break the seal, right? So it stands to reason that there always has to be a way to open it. So if you were to kill the only keys, maybe that would make it fall apart? I don't know.
Well,
I mean, you did just say that a Khazalayan said that they're going to get through it anyway, without your Daniel's blood.
you being alive,
Eventually.
again, I'm sorry to say, you being alive adds a certain level of danger. Because if they get you, and no offense, ma'am, while you can fly and burn, you can't fly and burn forever.
Which is why I wanted to adjust the terms of our contract.
I see.
Which is why I had to make sure that I could absolutely trust you.
Now, remember, ma'am, contract or no contract, you wouldn't. Oh, yes, I apologize.
It's all good.
Contract or no contract, you won't be my true employer. I will need to go and get the things that my patron requires. Which, to speak bluntly, I do also have more reason to head back to that tomb. My patron wants some cube behind the throne of the true king, he called it. He needs something from there too. So I'd have to go back there no matter what. So if that's our next stop, I'm all for that being our next stop.
There is one other place we could go. I asked my patron if there was somewhere I could go to become stronger in preparation for the fights ahead. He said that the library of Iamade on the north coast that I mentioned before, it's not exactly common knowledge, but at least a portion of the library is dedicated specifically to him. Right? That is what he said, right, Sage?
Yeah.
So if there's a seal with his blood in Morganon, it stands to reason we could actually find information on Morganon, because I doubt there's anything in the Arca Nostra that can be accessed by an amethyst. So unless my brother can call in a royal favor to access the archives, this library might be the only place we can find information outside of actually going to whatever Morganon is. And considering there's at least 3 different artifacts sealed there, something strange is going on with that place. Well, 2 artifacts and a horrifying abomination that no one knows what it really is.
Which one is the horrifying abomination that nobody knows what it...
Vestral?
You.
All I know is
It's
the
you.
curse of Vestral rotted the forests and the fields of Kalbesh, turned them into swamps full of monsters. It stands to reason that a curse made in their name would be related to the entity, and my patron did say that their corruption would consume all of Kalbesh. Everyone would die.
Fair play. Okay.
Well, I have to ask, Renea, since you're the one who's had this information the longest, you've had the most time to think about it. So what should we do? What's your suggestion?
Well, as things stand now, we have a year and 2 months. We can extend that time longer by taking out the other 2 sisters. And we can lose time if the sisters' plans comes to fruition. So instead of beelining for Morganon, it might be wiser to take out the sisters first.
Well, we're already doing one of those.
One
We're
of
already
them.
Yeah.
Before that, we do need those magic items, I think, before we try and take on Saraye. In the meantime, we can either jump to Troubadour, unless you know of a closer teleportation circle, and head to that library, or we can head back to that tomb and see if this cube and this crown, presumably of the true king, is tied to the recent assassination attempt on the royal family.
Well, personally, I think the library is the best idea.
Me too. What do we know about this cube exactly?
Well, I'll once again speak bluntly here. Not much. I now I really should have asked if the Tinkerer happens to know whoever the hell your patron is, but I got myself a dream recently as well. Like
Last night,
last night, man.
I wonder if it's because of the All Hallows Eve, the barrier between worlds thinning.
Maybe. But when I went down in there, he says he got some sort of memory of that place, and it reminded him that the cube is there. He needs that cube and the heart for what he's doing.
Based upon their motif being clockwork instead of festering corruption, it's hopefully not the case that your patron and Vestral are allies or the same person. But
Who knows, frankly?
just
but
in case they are, we should
who
be cautious.
is your patron, ma'am?
Sage, telling them my patron's true name would probably get me in trouble with said patron, right?
Considering at least one of the companions was eating souls, although they do regret that action, yes.
One of
Okay.
them was smoking souls
Yes.
and does not regret that action.
Exactly. So, you know.
I wish I could draw or had an illusion spell to show you what they look like.
Hey, you have a false name. You don't have to give his real name.
It's true. You haven't used it in
yeah.
ages.
I
Yeah.
haven't. They're a angel. Kind of similar to me in appearance. Red hair, 6 wings. I'm pretty sure he had blue eyes. I'm trying to remember the artwork. And appears to, well, is one of my grandfathers somewhere. Not sure how far back it goes. I know his true name, but I don't think he'd be very happy at me just blurting it out because true names have power and all that. He gave me the common name of Ezekiel, and he seems to be some sort of gatekeeper. Quite possibly the gate protecting this world.
Fair enough.
His eyes are indeed blue. I just
Yes, he has
loaded up
blue
his,
eyes.
his art, so.
Now, if Sage was nice and had let Daniel be here at this meeting, Daniel has minor illusion now and could show you him. And then Sage could plop the artwork down.
I could show you all the
Too many
Tinkerer, I'm pretty sure.
That reminds me, I haven't rolled. I meant to do that last night to see if he
Uh-oh.
was able to get away.
Get away.
Roll.
Spoiler,
Roll
spoiler.
good.
Let's see.
45! That's a number.
That is, in fact, a number.
It's
That
on
is,
the
in fact, a
100
number.
shit.
Would you like to spend Destiny?
You know what? This is probably super important, so yes, let's spend Destiny.
Alright, roll me that d6. I'm gonna go mark your Destiny use.
And Daniel gets captured, and they have the blood anyways.
I
3.
get another destiny point or a villain point.
Are you just allergic to the dice roller channel? Because
Oh.
you rolled that in the item lab.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know how you got to item lab.
Wait.
How did you get the item lab? Like,
How?
mine
I
is
was-
at least
I was
Entire
right.
looking for the
session,
map.
people have been cursed against that.
The next
I was
one's
looking
gonna be
for
the
the map.
loser's log.
All right.
Mine is also a lot, like
So
at least
can't you
like
set it?
one off.
That dice roller only can roll in dice roller chat.
He can, yes.
I can.
He can limit its permissions.
I probably should.
Probably,
At this point,
because
yes.
Probably,
I am not a
definitely.
smart man.
We're all a
So
bit
that's
special.
15 in the good direction, if I remember your destiny rules for D100s right.
Yes.
So you got a 60.
Or a 30, depending on which direction is the good direction.
That's true.
Which direction's a good direction?
We've got a 36.
I don't know, whatever direction is the good direction, that's the direction I'm applying the destiny in.
Whichever direction is a good direction.
The,
This
the
sounds-
good direction. Yes, the good
Sounds like it's
direction
very
is
quickly
south by
becoming a tongue twister.
southwest.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Man, take your word.
Dude, Good Burger is back on Netflix. I'm so excited about it. Anyways,
All right. So,
We got in and out and watched Go to Burger. It was
Off
great.
topic, off topic.
what is the man, I forgot the name of this bot. Sidekick, that's what it's called. Okay. That's a success. So Daniel will not obviously be here right now as timing and all that, but they will be here on this day.
Oh, that's nice. That saves me a trip to Sonata, because that was actually next in my immediate plans, or Troubadour, not Sonata. Let's see. We were taking a vote on where to go, and you asked me what my patron looked like. Or asked me who my patron was. I told you. That's where we were.
Does anyone else have any questions for the party? May as well make a use of the spell.
Can't say I do.
Vaz, why is your go-to insult punching people in the face?
All right, cool.
It's an effective
We're
one,
the
to be
land of
fair.
bards.
It's effective.
It's not very creative, though.
You're right.
There's beauty in simplicity if you think about it.
Floof, are you an eldritch abomination?
Not that I know of.
It's okay, Floof. You'll be my eldritch abomination. Pat, pat.
Oh god,
All right.
I'm surprised the first question out of someone's mouth wasn't Desho, is your name a pun?
Oh wait, hold on. I gotta roll. What would that be? Ent to see if I think of asking him this.
It's too late for that.
You've been gabered.
We were just talking about his name being a pun
It's true.
At dinner.
not long ago in the campsite.
I do recall reading that, so you are good to roll.
His name is Yusi.
That said,
Ent?
though, intelligence, yes. That said, though, do you guys want to do anything else in this meeting chamber? Are we
Not in
good to
particular.
move on to downtime, duration, and what you guys want to do for that?
Yeah. I think I'm good for that.
Renea would, work out the details of her contract with John. So, John, the new contract I'd like to make is secondary to your primary interests that you previously stated, yourself and your patron.
That's a given, man.
Protect me, and if I'm taken, bring me back. And if those aren't options, then ensure that Vestral doesn't get free.
Am I allowed? John will take out from his pouch a pen and a piece of paper and start drafting up the contract.
And include my brother in that too, obviously.
I would like you to pick your words very carefully here, ma'am. You are speaking very vague. And since I do like you, you're not that bad. Would you like to pick a bit less lenient terms for me to use?
Make
Am I
sure.
free to interpret stopping the re-summoning of whoever the hell? You're gonna have to spell that out for me, by the way.
All
As
right.
I interpret it.
I'll make it simple then. Protect me, especially from being captured.
Yes, ma'am.
Same with my brother. If either of us is captured, retrieve us if at all possible. And if you cannot retrieve us, to do what it takes to stop Bestral from being summoned, even if that includes a bullet in the head from, 500 yards or whatever.
I have hit once that far. It's a bit tricky, but I can. Now, am I to include any of the others here into this contract?
Yes,
I think you should.
actually. I think you should.
Okay. Who
Everyone?
can do? Now, as contracts go, they are meant to be mutually beneficial. Now, I do fully see that you will let me go about my business and even aid me when it happens to getting the select items that I have listed out.
Assuming they're not going to free any horrifying monstrosities like Vestral? Yes.
Ma'am, I can't guarantee that. Just like
Which
you
is
can't
why I can't guarantee
guarantee.
that I'll help you get them. If they
Well,
aren't tied to that, then yes, I will help you.
if they're not tied to vegetable, you have yourself a deal there. But, and this goes for you others as well, I'm going to have you all sign this since you're now a part of it. At the very least, those two items go to me. Any objections?
No.
None here.
Well,
Which items again? I just want to make sure.
a
I would like a
cube
scorpion. Yes.
behind the throne of the true god.
True
Or
King.
the true king, thank you. He finds this out, of course. And the clockwork heart.
No objection.
No.
You don't have to help me, per se. Just kindly don't get in my way.
Provided that the clockwork heart and the artifact of my interest are not the same.
I feel like people wouldn't mistake a mirror for a clockwork heart.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's fair. People are dumb. Well, so
If they turned out to be ingredients needed to unleash some ancient horror upon Calabash, I do get to kill you, right?
no.
No.
That's not what I'm not. Would you like me to take you off of this? You don't have to be on it if you don't agree with the terms and conditions that we are laying out.
I mean, we basically just wrote a term and condition that if they are tied to that, then the contract gets null and voided. That's basically what you said, is it not?
Specifically to your issue. If they are tied to your, I'm not going to remember their name, your whatever is being unleashed. If they're, as long as they're not tied to your issue, man.
I would say that I would be willing to help you get whatever artifact you need. However, I can't prevent me from stopping them after they get said artifact if it ends up being terrible.
I can accept those terms. So,
No offense, but I can't really trust your warlock patrons more than Renea could throw them.
ma'am, trust me, I don't really either. But it is the position that I'm in. As far as I know, he's got a stake on my soul. I don't know entirely. I'll have a chat with him later. We'll see if he answers.
Ixib
Now,
does not know what's going on, so he dips his claw into ink on the table and like scribbles at the bottom.
I'm not done, but sure, you're now signed on it. That was foolish. Now,
He's trying his hardest, John.
to reiterate the contract so everything is clear. Ma'am, I will be protecting all of you as best as I can, but prioritizing you. If you are captured and I cannot save you, I am to kill you and your brother. Your brother is also on that higher pedestal with yourself. Just he's not here, so speaking to everybody. Now, payment wise, I'm fully accepting the fact that y'all are letting me get this, but I would also like to throw in my usual 7th of the loot from the party.
That's fair. Regarding prioritizing my safety outside of just preventing me being captured,
Yes.
can anyone else here revive people? Because if you can, the protecting part, you should also go on the higher priority list.
I
No,
can.
but we know someone who can.
That's the only reason why I want to be on the non-capture protection list.
I would argue that you're on that higher list because you could summon what you're trying to keep sealed.
And that too, yes.
Which, not my problem, Tyler. So, if that is all fine, John will sign the bottom, give it to his old John Hancock,
God damn it.
and he will pass his pen, his actual fucking pen, and the paper around to the rest.
Renea will sign it.
Desho signs it.
Paul waves his hand as one of his quills just moves by its own and signs it.
Fancy man.
Floof signs it.
So extra, Paul.
Ma'am, are you going to be...
Yeah, I'll sign it. I'm sorry, I was distracted by like my Twizzlers.
Me too.
Not you, ma'am. Miss Ada Sword. Will you be signing this contract?
I'll be honest, it's not quite comprehending and like what's being said.
Don't worry, I'm like half there with you.
Pretty much, I will be under strict.
The clip notes is we don't kill each other and help John get the thing, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And make sure the possible keys to the Eldritch Horror aren't captured.
And that I will, if need be killing the whatever their last name, siblings, if all hope is lost.
Ada will sign.
John
I say,
will cast
is this an
actual
oath? Or
mage
no,
hand.
is this just a contract?
This is just a contract.
Okay.
It's just a contract.
I am worried about like anything about that, okay?
You will know if it is a magically binding oath. Most oaths are.
I wish it was, but I don't have like magic paper or anything, but that'd be cool. I'll get that later. John will cast actual mage hand to float over, take it, bring it back as he folds it up and puts it away.
Excellent.
There is one last concern of mine. My family, their blood is too thin to serve as the key, but I'd rather not be put into a position where I'm forced to choose between the entirety of Kalbesh or my family.
Ma'am.
Sigh.
That
Paul,
may not be something we can guarantee in a contract.
Paul,
Yeah,
Yes,
Ada?
ma'am. Also, you've already signed it. I'm not going to go and change.
No.
that.
This is something separate.
Wonderful.
Is there anything that you could do to relocate my family to somewhere safer than a village known to whisper in the middle of the woods?
sure. I could probably give them some money and they could get a place here in Sonata or something like that. Shouldn't be too difficult.
See, I'd go with just the protection of anonymity, but Whisper knows where they are. And but she's dead now, but if she communicated that information to anyone else, then they know where my family is. So perhaps having something more concrete to protect them than simply hiding. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know what you're asking for. I mean,
don't think these are. I'm sorry, ma'am, but we are but 7 people and a dragon. 8.
Yes.
if you want to be
I'm
like that.
asking about relocating them somewhere safer. If that seems like a good idea, and where that somewhere safer.
Well, Paul just
I
gave you the
could
option
think
of
of
bringing
safe
them
places
here.
to send. I could think of safe places to send them, though none of the places I could think of would be close by, and would probably be fairly difficult to get them there or back.
If you can get them to Aetherstorm, there, I can send them with a letter that gives them free stay in my inn.
That ain't a bad idea. It's just getting them through that pass. I assume they don't have the. I assume they don't have the waystone for all the way down south.
No, but do you know the
Presumably no.
Waystone sequence? Paul, you can use Waystone sequences you haven't been to before, right? Or is
if
that
I
not how that
know
spell works?
if I know the sequences, yes, I can go there.
So what I'm hearing is you're gonna want me to, or to show, to teleport down there using the mage stones, whatever those are called. Find you the waystone sequence and then come back.
It's either that or put them here in Sonata where your family can, or your family's men can look after them, Paul and Ada. That's the only 2 ideas I have.
I think it might be
Our
more
parents
amenable.
away, we have a skeleton crew running here.
I think having them in Sonata is probably the best way to go.
Likely.
Hey, Sage, are we rich enough to like just casually? Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Nope.
We can hear you.
Hello?
Okay, just make sure. Are we rich enough to just like casually sponsor a family living in Sonata for a bit?
Yeah.
The most hesitant. Yeah. Well,
Okay, then when are we gonna go get them?
That's the question.
Good question. Sage, has Minerva reached Dwindle yet?
Let's see.
Set her off once we left camp that morning.
Calculating distance. Beep boop.
beep boop, calculating.
This man's is like
What a great theme song.
right now.
All right, that means we're looking at divide by Thoop. You guys did rest, so they would have arrived. Yes.
Okay. Firstly, is the village burning down or anything terrible, or is it normal?
It's just a village.
Right.
That's what he wants you to think.
Minerva's going to keep a watch through the night, to help with the surviving All Hallows Eve.
Mhm.
But she'll find Renea's family and communicate to them the very, very basics. Basically, so I'm concerned about your safety because of the enemies of me and Daniel finding you and murdering you. How do you feel about moving to Sonata? We have some friends with money who would sponsor you living here.
That's that's a lot.
Sure is convenient having rich friends.
It is.
You're damn right it is.
If you think it's best, would now be the time to leave with the current season?
Like today or tonight? No,
Maybe wait
no,
till
no.
tomorrow.
If that's what
But
they're asking, yes, because they're like, "How fucking ween."
not immediately, but as soon as you can, and we can come and help you move.
All right. Well, we'll try to have everything packed within the week then.
Right. I guess I'll check in. Minerva will be here all night, helping keep watch. So if you have anything more concrete, we can talk in the morning. Or I can send Minerva later in the week and check. Or you'll hear my voice inside your head from a spell I can cast. It'll be 25 words, and you can respond with 25 words. If, depending on where Minerva is and how long it'll take her to get to Dwindle, I might use that instead.
All right.
Be safe.
You too. Man, it's coffin land. Okay, we're good. We're not dying. Everything's fine. Anything else you would like to say to those back at Dwindle?
Think so. The less I tell them, better.
All right. Now then, in terms of downtime, how long are you staying in town?
I thought we were going to
Just the
move
night.
to the library pretty immediately.
So
Yeah.
Just the night?
Yeah, just
Stay
the
in
night, and then
head
we'll
to the library.
we should slash TP to Troubadour, and then take the cart or the chariot up to the library of Iomade.
I do want to talk to that researcher I sent to look up Renea's familial angel. Remember that guy back when we first started
Yeah.
downtime? I did want to check in with him in the morning.
You guys are wanting to go to Troubadour to go to the temple? It's kind of further away.
Wait, where is Iomade? Or
So
the
here's the
library?
map. You guys are down here in Sonata. Troubadour is
Mhm.
obviously up here.
Right.
That is the library, the Temple of the Warden. The Temple
Oh,
to
I see.
Iomade. So like you guys, it could be faster if you take a boat, but like you'd be doing here and then going all the way back down and around.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
should
we
we
might be able to
probably
get
The
I'd
Arcanoptra
be
for a
able
closer
to
circle then.
get a boat, go on some boat adventures, have Sage make boat
I have
adventures.
had no. That's where you meet purple cats and they kill you.
What the fuck?
You chose to have Hemo meet you guys.
Yeah, they thought Hemo was a good person, and that's their fault.
Yes.
Here's my question for you, Sage, actually.
Yeah.
Talking.
What time tomorrow is my hat and poncho done?
Let's see here. You were looking at midday, around 11 to 12.
Midday. Okay, so I'll get that probably the next time, because probably aren't staying about that long, are we?
I mean,
We should probably
if
leave
you're
at-
literally waiting that long, just one day, we might as well pick it up.
We're gonna have to
right?
be smart about how we choose to go to Temple of the Warden, because if we cannot get a teleportation circle sequence, then we have 2 routes by land we could take. One of them leads right through Kraken's Hollow.
Where's Kraken's Hollow on the map?
Right there. So this is the fastest way to get to where we
The
want
forbidden
to go.
finger.
The other way. Yeah. How do I do finger?
Control shift space.
Control shift space. But if we want to avoid Kraken's Hollow, we have to go around.
The mountain.
You know what? Just going to Troubadour and taking like a ferry to Mythwind would probably work.
That's what I'm saying.
That could work.
Troubadour jump across, have Sage figure out boat adventures for us.
Do I
Well-
know if there are ferries that exist from Troubadour to Mythwind or the Temple of the Warden?
Our boat sinks and we die.
Like ferries or just like Fae?
Boats.
Like
Boats
Yeah.
that go back and
Oh,
forth.
ferry boat. Okay, I see.
a ferry.
English guys. English.
They
It
don't
sucks.
have a ferry per se, so like not like a. Those are more like river transportations. They do have some ships that sail up the coastline up that way,
Okay,
as
so
well
that's
as
a
some
viable option.
deeper water ships which could just sail across the bay, depending on what you're wanting.
How much does that usually cost?
Let's see here. To the book of Buckyland.
Great. I love when he brings out the book.
Oh.
So who wants to go play like a few campaigns of Halo while he does
You
that?
know, I literally have it right now, right? I'm literally
Yes.
looking at it.
So,
Damn.
I like making
What
fun of
I'm-
how long you take.
I'm
So-
playing Overwatch.
Alright.
So,
'Cause I'm
so
doing nothing.
what I'm hearing is that I've got time for a killer game.
Oh yes, everyone has time to stop and play a full round of Smite or League of Legends or whatever.
Christ.
Anyways,
Full,
no,
full
um,
round
The B
over.
word.
the
The
price
B word.
of a basic coastal ship is 2 silver piece per mile. The price of a ocean faring ship is 5 silver pieces per mile. If you're wanting a bit higher quality, it can go anywhere between 5 and 2 gold, or 5 silver piece and 2 gold. You might even have more
And-
than that if you're like paying for protection as well.
Hey, Paul, how many miles is that?
And to
Okay,
be
so
clear,
to-
that is per individual.
To Mythwind, it's about 80 miles.
So 16 gold per person. If you're taking the
That's it.
basic travel.
Well, that's
If only our
reasonable.
dragon was big enough to carry all of us.
It's easy enough.
Wait, hold on. Water walk. Does water walk? No, it wouldn't affect the carriage. Never mind.
I swear to God.
It could affect the horses.
Yes, but it won't affect the carriage, so that
Horse
ruins
Let's
that
get
plan.
dragged.
But what if they just go fast enough?
What are we planning here?
Can
No,
we
don't worry about
train?
Carry the carriage.
Yeah, can we train the carriage in monk levels?
Can we train
it's an
the
object.
carriage
It's an object.
in monk
Okay,
level?
so we have to animate it first.
Turn,
Is what you're
dumb
saying.
question.
I hate us
If
all.
the carriage somehow
Hey, I'm not
becomes
doing
a
anything.
construct, a living creature, or I guess construct creature, it could then gain monk levels, yes. Will this happen? Very unlikely.
No.
But
This
not
stage
in.
will end the campaign before it
So
happens.
you're telling
New
me
plan.
there's a chance?
We take the clockwork heart and turn it into a carriage.
Quick, Renee, level up really fast so you get divine intervention.
yeah.
I don't think Hestia can do divine intervention like that.
Just
Hey, not with that
And
attitude.
what's the
you
point
can't.
of being a god if you can't make a cart walk on water?
fucking water. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you were a god of innovation, sure.
Like the thing
Okay, so our new
Okay,
plan
John.
is go to Troubadour, pay 16 gold each to get across to Mythwind.
Now, to be clear,
Check
were
if
you
there's a
doing
circle close?
transportation along the coast, so along the coastline, which is the darker blue, or are you just doing
No.
from 2 to 2?
Going straight across would probably be best so that we can avoid Kraken's Hollow as much as possible.
Because
Yeah, going.
if you want to do straight across, that will require the ocean travel, which you are looking at about 62 miles, which means you are looking at 32 point 31 gold each.